In this video, I'll be breaking down the S&P and the NASDAQ. Also, I'll talk about a trade I took today on the S&P, exactly why I took it, the time of the day, and why that matters so much more than just a pattern. So we're going to get into when you should be looking for a setup, adding in the time element of things. Then we'll talk about the price, and the structure also needs to be in place. All right. So let's go ahead and get into all of that. I won't keep you waiting for long. First things first, let's just talk about what we were expecting in price. And I'll make this one very short. As you can see, I don't really have my drawings on the chart, but essentially I was mentioning how we're likely to run out these highs on the NASDAQ and run out these highs as well. So we run out these highs already and then trade into this volume imbalance here on the daily chart. And since we've just rejected very lightly, but notice we've just really been not doing much, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's a holiday week. So again, as I was saying in the beginning of the week, we need to keep our expectations lower just because of holiday volumes. But there's still money to be made in here when you're looking at certain things happening at certain times and adding that to your a wonderful market structure or wonderful pattern or model. All right. So, anyways, we had this consolidation, but we did ultimately run out these highs. And we'll see if we actually want to continue our way higher going into this week or next week. It is again Thanksgiving in the USA tomorrow, so I don't know how much volume is going to be pushing into the market, but I'm probably not going to trade it. Now let's go into Nasdaq. So for Nasdaq again, I mentioned how we're likely to run out these highs. We've run out these highs and maybe trade to these highs, and maybe make our way to this daily fair value gap. But what I want to actually bring attention to, and this actually now ties into the trade I was discussing earlier, the trade I took. Notice this fair value gap here, inverse fair value gap, right? Because why is it inverse fair value gap, right? Well, we create this fair value gap here. Then when we traded against it, we traded back into it and dropped price. Okay. So this makes itself what inverse fair value gap. Now, what I'm about to put some of the drawings on the chart, but I really want you to pay attention to the shaded level in orange. Okay, that's where all the magic happened. All right, so don't get distracted by other stuff on chart. It's gonna be a little clustered up. But this is the level that mattered most in our trade today. Okay. So again, it's that weekly inverse fair value gap that I called out in the beginning of the week. Daily charts, again, it's a lot of cluster, but around these highs as expected. And then let's go down to the 4-hour chart. Again, a lot of mess here, so I'll just really get straight into oh, again, this is Monday. We just traded higher, dropped lower Tuesday, and then traded higher again. All right, and then this is the 1-hour chart. But really, I mean, if I'm not BSing, well, check this out. So, what I want you to pay attention on this chart is Monday's high. Notice how I have that labeled as PNYH right here. You're probably wondering what is PNYH, okay? It's just previous New York high. All right? You can call it previous day high. I'm just calling it previous New York high. All right? And that's what PNYH is. But I was keeping track of that. Plus incorporating the fact that we're in that inverse fair value gap as mentioned on the weekly chart. So much this level is shaded, the high and the low of the shaded area still matters, and the midpoint, all that matters. Okay, and another thing here I want you to see is this level here is actually mid-September highs. So when there's a high that's been in place a long time ago, we actually eventually tag it. A lot of times, what you're gonna see is price actually consolidate around that area. So that's why I knew this was gonna be important. You go back to do it for yourself, right? But when you just have a high that's in place, like on a weekly, monthly chart, and we eventually tag it, you want to watch what happens. Are we going to consolidate around the area? Again, all of these levels, all of these highs and lows that occur, whether it's a intra-week high, whether it's a weekly high, monthly high, those levels are super important. You got to keep them on your chart. So this was mid-September highs, right? This is like August 16th. If you go all the way to September, boom. Okay. So you see that how it was very clean in price? That's why I wanted to outline it. Like easily just outline, September highs, but look at how clean this one was as well. That's why I outlined those highs. Okay. Again, same element price here. Notice how when we traded above these highs, in this case, just really at first we use it as resistance and eventually zoom past it. But anyways, I don't want to focus on that. Point is, the highs in September, very clean. So I want to outline that. Okay. And you can see how price has really just hugged around that area once we actually traded to it. All right. Even right here, you can see how it's using it as, after trading above it, uses it as resistance, then drops. Again, we're just trading around the area. So let's get into it. Okay. So for today, what we did is, and this doesn't matter anymore. Let me erase this for you guys. Erase that magnet because the reason needs to be on this chart at this point. Where's my eraser? Where is my eraser? There you go. Okay. Let's get this crap out of here, okay? So, a lot of stuff happening here. I know. We're going to break it down. So, one step at a time. But all these levels matter. So, okay. What is PPMH? Previous PM high. So, previous PM session high, which the way we look at it here is previous PM is previous, like, the PM session starts at 13 o'clock. So between 13 o'clock and 16 o'clock, while high was in place, we'll decide. Notice how, again, he used it as support and traded higher. Notice how it fell short twice of hitting that level, but you can see sort of the elements in effect. So that's what that level was. And then, again, we traded all the way. So where is 930? Let's really get into the real, because I live on the lower time frames. I have a high time frame perspective, but I live on the lower time frames to really see when is the market's actually turning around. So where is our 930 opening? Right? It's all the way up here. So now this is, again, where we need to pay attention, okay? So at 930, what do we do? This is when it matters, okay? And you're gonna have to back test this yourself. But if we are already up here at 930, okay, let's just ignore all of this extra stuff. I want to fixate on this segment of price. This is the trade I took today. So again, I was able to sell above here, and I got out around, I want to say here and here. Again, I have the video recording, so it's going to be posted either before or after this video. But point is, at 930, okay, you gotta listen to this, pay close attention. What are we doing? We've already been trading higher throughout the day, okay? We've been trading higher throughout the day. And now we're here. And we have a high that we know that's a previous day's high that's likely to run out. So at 930, we're watching. And what does 930 do? It immediately runs out liquidity. So now, the way I at least put it in my mind, I'm not a programmer, but the way it's settling with me is, what did 930's price action do? Did it consolidate? Did it retrace into a fair value gap? Or did it run out liquidity? In this specific schematic at 930, its function at 930 was to run out liquidity. All right? And this will apply to every session. Whenever every session starts, I'm looking at, what did that session do? Like in the first 30 minutes, first 10 minutes, first minute of that session. If the first thing does run out liquidity, cool. Now I can sit back and see there's going to be some type of reversal because we've already ran out a significant liquidity pool. So right at 9:30, I'm not just trying to press a button to enter price. I'm actually watching what does the 9:30 schematic do. When 9:30 opens, what is price doing? That's what I'm watching. Okay. So in this scenario, at 9:30, price decides to run out liquidity. Boom. Now I sit back and wait. What happens after liquidity? Oh, we create a 5-minute swing high. You see these 3 candles? Boom. Where are we creating that at? Oh, right at the high end of the weekly inversion fair value gap that we outlined on the weekly chart. So at this point, when I see this swing high, after again, we just ran out at 9:30. So 9:30 has done its job. Now it's creating a swing high at a high in the weekly fair value gap or inversion fair value gap. I'm like, okay, cool. I see this, you know, being created. And also, what do we have here? Let's draw this out. We have a 5-minute fair value gap that's traded through. Interesting. So this becomes a balanced range. Okay. Well, let's get into and go in the 1 minute or 30-second charts. We'll take it off. So if you look at a 1-minute chart, you can say cool. And what I like to see personally is some level of consolidation also being traded too, without taking out the main liquidity pool, which will be this liquidity pool. Okay. What makes this liquidity pool? Well, right before 9:30 opens, we have this low here, and 9:30 opens, and immediately we just run higher. So this is the liquidity pool. If we're going to reverse, we're going to take that out. So what do? We drop lower, create a fair value gap, or also trade it beyond that 5-minute fair value gap. And this is also a little breaker. So this is like a consolidation on a lower time frame. So if you're using a 1-minute chart, this is an entry right here for a sell-off. Okay. Now, I personally like to see 2 levels of distribution before I get into the charts. So what does that look like? Well, look closely here on the 30-second chart. Try to make this a little bigger. All right. So again, I like to see 2 levels distribution, and also I want to see a consolidation get overlapped or traded past. So in this case, this will be the consolidation right here, which ends up being a break on the 1-minute chart. But this is a level of consolidation. Okay, that's a consolidation on the 30-second chart. Let's call it shaded blue. All right, so it has consolidation here. Then we have this run up higher. Oh, guess what? And this run up higher, did NASDAQ actually run up higher? No. So now we have a lot of stuff in place already. We have the fact that what is the starting point, right? Okay, 9:30. It took out liquidity. Cool. That's the function 9:30 formed. Now, what's going to happen after that? Are we just going to keep going higher? Or is there a chance it wants to break down? Well, we start watching. That's when we start watching. Okay, this committed higher. All right, great. I'm not at a point where I can just get in here and sell at the top. I'll be honest with you. I never do that. I've tried it, and if I do it, I'm going to use my lowest leverage ever. I would not be risking a lot, but I don't really. That's not my bread and butter. I don't hang my hat on trying to trade at the top. But what I do like to see is a breakdown. So we have, again, NASDAQ did not run out their highs. Okay, and just to bring that into perspective, let's look at the NASDAQ chart very quickly. Where's my compare button? So we're going to compare the NASDAQ right here. And we're going to make this stuff right here. How do you make this candlestick chart again? Right here. Okay. Candles. Perfect. So notice how this high right here, we have lower highs. So high, lower high. Meanwhile, here we have a higher high. So that's really interesting. Then, so we have that. So it's a smart money reversal. Then we trend, kind of base a little bit here. And we drop again. There's a low risk sell. Then when the market enters here, this is the first level of distribution. And at this point, this is where I enter the charts. At this point, we're in a fair value gap on a lower time frame. We've traded beyond this consolidation, and we're inside the 5-minute fair value gap, right? That we mentioned on the 5-minute chart. So a lot of elements are happening here. I'm trying to get rid of all this crap. Cool. So a lot of elements are happening now, okay? So SMT. Drop. Another drop, creating a displacement of fair value gap right at this consolidation. We trade into that, which is also 5-minute fair value gap, the shaded area. This is an easy sell, bread and butter sell. Stop loss above here, right? And we can target. You can even target, knowing that we're likely to come back to September highs. You can target that. But ideally, it was going to run below these lows. And that's exactly what price did. Okay. So that was a wonderful trade setup. Just entry right here, drop, taking out this liquidity pool. Wonderful. And then what do we have? Price trades one more time for one more distribution. But look where it distributes at, right? At the mid-September highs. Boom. All right. So I said a lot there. I hope that you got some gain from that. All right. But that was the trade I took. And then there was also another trade that popped up during the PM session. So let's get into those schematics again, okay? I love going through this because it's helping me as well, right? Just wrap around, just reviewing what price did. This is another setup that you could have taken here. You might not see it right now, but let's actually highlight. Let's go on the 1-minute chart first. Or let's go on the 5-minute chart. Boom, boom, boom. Getting some game here. Or if you're getting game, like, subscribe, like. Let's grow the channel, right? Let's grow the channel. Tell your boy you like the videos, and show your friends, and let's keep talking chart and price of action, keep making this money. All right. So, anyways, now same thing, guys. All right, same logic. All right, same game when the session starts. Lunch is another session. ICT calls it macros. This is, in my mind, I'm looking at these market once the price opens. Once there's a new session open, whether that be a 9:30 open or lunch or PM session, I want to see what does price do at that time. The first 5-10 minutes, what is price doing? Okay, so look at lunch. Let's highlight lunch. Lunch starts at 12. So lunch is from 12 o'clock, which is this candle here, to what, 13 o'clock? So this whole shebang. All right. I try to highlight this. I don't know if I like blue. Blue is my favorite color, but it's kind of ugly. Matched orange. Okay, so this is lunch. We're gonna leave it blue for now, I think. Whatever. Kind of bothering me for some reason. It's kind of very ugly. Whatever. I think it will see it on your screen. Hopefully, you do. This is lunch. Okay, starting at 12 o'clock, which is this candle. What is it doing? All right, it's running out a high. This is one I haven't done enough testing on. Okay, so I'm going to touch on it a little lighter, but we had news today at 10 o'clock, and 10 o'clock ran higher and created some type of high. Then it dropped. Then the high, so pretty much what I'm trying to say is the high created when news forms. Like the high and the lows that are created when news forms. I want to start seeing how that causes how price interacts around those levels. So once I saw this high, and see, this could just be any other high, right? It doesn't have to be high after news, but for me, I'm really trying to dig into what is price doing at certain places. I'm trying to really make more sense of it. So this high was created. So it was 10 o'clock news that took place. This was 10 o'clock news that dropped here, and then created this low. Look at how we actually ran below those lows, right? The 10 o'clock lows, the news lows, and then pushed higher. So that's another interesting thing right there, right? I actually took some buys here as well. I'm not gonna get into those. So that's interesting, right? Seeing that we did take out this little swing low, which was a news low, it just run higher. Okay, maybe we'll take a little look at that. But that one, didn't really make much on that price. I want to say I just made a little bit, a little scratch. But there's something there. So we're gonna watch that. So point is, the low that was created before news, I mean at news, and then the high created at news. But let's go into lunch. Lunch specifically ran out those highs at 12. It already ran out those highs. So now I know lunch has already ran out highs. What is it like? It could continue higher, but if it in the case it does, in the case it wants to turn around, how can we know? Well, same schematic. We have this big old candle right here, and we have this fair value gap right here, right? So same thing that happened earlier, right? Same thing happened here, happens here. Boom, we trade below this. This is, again, balance range. We trade into that. All of this little consolidation here, what does it do? It gets ran out, boom, into this fair value gap. Now, why would I get out here? Well, because it's a it's a lunch macro, first of all. Okay. And so lunch, I'm not expecting much to have that lunch. And on top of that, we're really hugging around the September highs. So there's liquidity to that was this low. And on top of that, this drive here already took out a low. So it's harder for price, because you might want to hold for price to make a bigger run. But like whenever price has already ran out liquidity, like it did here already, this drop here already ran out this liquidity. It makes it harder. Whenever that happens in price, right? Whenever you see that happen, where a liquidity pool has already been ran out by this aggressive move, when you're now selling or you're expecting market to drop, you want to dial down your expectations because it might not go to these lows, the liquidity pool anymore, because this already did its job by taking out this pool of liquidity. All right. So that being said, this was a logical level to actually get out of the trade. All right. So let's get into the 1 minute chart to see actually what happened at lunch macro. If you're getting some game again, like, subscribe. I really would appreciate it. Even drop a comment. Okay. So again, the 1 minute chart, same exact thing that happened, same schematic that happened earlier in the day, happens again. Isn't this like that breaker that we saw in the 1 minute chart? This is a fair value gap here as well. Entry could have been right here, stop loss above that breaker. Boom, drop. Clean 1 minute fair value gap here, exit. That's that. Okay. And I actually have a trade. I took this on the NASDAQ as well. So it's not like I'm just talking about it. I'll drop that video today as well. I'm trying to run to Friendsgiving, but I'll do my best to drop those videos. But point is, we take out this, all this consolidation is taken out, and we run into this boom. All right, we're at 1250. And if you go on a 30-second chart, this will give us the same exact thing. Is there 2 levels of breakdown? Let's see. Oh, yes, there is. Yes, there is, guys. I guess the same thing. Oh, okay. So we have smart money reversal, a lower sell, and then boom, first distribution, and lower we go. So this is wonderful when you're using this logic, or I'm hoping this this was of value to help you. Didn't just watch this video and waste your time. And if you waste your time, sorry about that. I mean, I can't help you. But if you found value in this video, like, subscribe, share. Okay. I'll keep dropping more detailed videos of what I'm looking at price, any new research I'm doing, why I'm doing them. I think it's important. And then lastly here, this is what I said I might touch on. So notice how I run out these lows right here. All right, this is a 10 a.m. lows that were created after the news. We run it out. What do we have? We run higher, drop in here. This, depending on how confident you are about this, right? This could be your entry. Why? Because we also had an SMT. If you look at US 30, you see these lower lows. That actually did not form on US 30. So there's SMT that occurred here as well. So in that case, you could then expect this fair value gap to offer, and look at how we dropped. We just didn't take out these highs. So you can then expect that to, if price drops in here, to push yourself higher to at least take out these highs. This is why I said it was a scratch for me, because as price dropped in here, I took a quick little buy. It was too obvious around these highs. I got out here. Then I tried to hold to see if we actually want to run out these highs. Because if you're trading US 30, you know that US 30 looked like it was, I think it actually ended up running out its intraday highs or something. I'm not too sure. But the point is, I thought we were going to run these highs. There was a potential for that. So right when it dropped in here, I took a buy, got out, went around these highs, took something off the table, and then I just held, and eventually just came back down. So whatever. So that's why I said it was just really a scratch. It wasn't that deep of a trade, and but it is kind of critical to kind of see the same thing still playing itself out. And I think on 30-second you see that stuff even clearer. Yeah. So 30-second chart again. Even if you want to use here, so we have a lower sell. I mean, a reversal, lowest buy, first accumulation entry right here, and then push higher. Okay. After taking out 10 a.m. lows. All right, so I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, I got stuff to do, got videos to edit, but I hope that was helpful. It was. Again, like, subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this channel. Let's get to 500 followers by the end of the year. I don't know how feasible that is, but I really appreciate that. Right. So again, have a wonderful holiday. Enjoy. Don't eat too much. Don't stuff yourself. Right. But enjoy yourself. Debrief again to the end of the year. Take one step at a time. Thank God that there's another day for you to live and breathe. And let's just keep grinding. Keep working. Right. It doesn't stop. And just the fact that, again, you can breathe, you live, and you have, especially if you have all your limbs and everything, like, that's a blessing on its own. So just thank God for that and be grateful. Whether you achieve the level of success you're looking to achieve or not, just know it's coming. As long as you keep working, I'm not gonna stop. You shouldn't stop. So keep the grind going, and I'll talk to the next one.